Welcome back to the Marinaut podcast, the only podcast by Toads for Toads. I'm Anthony, and here I am with Teddy and Patrick, as usual. By now, I'm hoping you're adjusted to our voices, but I feel the need to say, like, an introduction, like my name with my voice, just because I've gotten comments of people saying, like, I still can't tell who's who. But also, like, 70% of our viewers are kids we went to middle school with, so I'm not too worried about it.
But it's nice.
You did implement. I know in the last one you implemented like a little picture when one of us was talking.
Yeah, well, I have it on a 2-minute cycle. It just goes from like image to image on a 2-minute cycle, and it sometimes lines up with our actual voice.
Okay, because
sometimes doesn't.
I went to some random part and it happened to line up, so I thought like you went through and like meticulously did that, but I guess not.
I could do that. I noticed it had that effect when I was editing it, where I was like, oh, it kind of makes it sound like, you know, this is Patrick speaking, but it's not, because it shows a picture of Teddy's character. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Right? We're at 38 subs. It doesn't matter.
38?
30? Yeah, we're
38.
We've gone up a bit.
Yeah, we used to be at like 10.
Yeah. Well, do you remember when we started? And we were like, we had 3 subs, and we were so excited. And then we talked about
it was us. It was us.
Yeah, we found out that
from our other
actually
YouTube
our
accounts.
channels.
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, now we're at 38, which is super cool. And
that's like
normally
half of 50, right? No.
Yeah, we're
more
actually
than
close.
half.
We might have to think of like an event to do for 50.
Hot Tub Time Machine special.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Well, I know we've got face reveal at 1,000, but that's very.
I thought we were doing a 1 sub. What's that video like? The guy goes camping because he had 1 sub.
Oh, the 78 subscriber like Blizzard camp out.
I'm like 14-year-old. Like went into like a snowstorm.
For 78 subs, we'll go to the Everglades and we'll go camping like in the wild with the gators and the, you know, anacondas, which like run rampant down there because they're not indigenous. People got them as pets, and then we're like, I can't take care of this genuinely dangerous creature, and just threw it out into the woods, and it took off.
Wow.
And now they're like an invasive species that eat everything.
That's awesome.
Kind of scary.
That's super cool. Yeah, we should go there. I was thinking we could go because I was listening to one of our earlier podcasts where we talked about the Sacramento. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh God,
they're like the little demon creatures.
The night crawlers.
We talked about
the Fresno.
The Fresno night. I couldn't remember which boring California city it was. The Fresno night crawlers. I think we should go there for our 50 subscriber special. We road trip out to Fresno, try and get them on film.
We should do like a parody of like Finding Bigfoot. Get like thermal cameras and all that. And just walk around like the public parts of Fresno at night with like all this gamer gear, like the Spy Kids binoculars that weighed 7 pounds.
Gamer gear.
That'd be
fun. Awesome.
I
think that's a good idea. Oh,
I'd love to do that.
Speaking of other podcasts, I feel the need to publicly apologize to George Lucas for basically threatening him with death.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that.
Did you do that in the last one?
Yeah,
I
said he deserved to die.
Well, I know you guys ripped into George pretty badly.
Yeah, but that was like I figured people could tell that was sarcastic. I don't actually.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, how could you say that about George?
They're gonna come up and rise to his defense, but listen. He deserves to at least be like, to have a room of people just at least beat him up a little. Maybe not stab him to death, but they should push him around. You know, he needs to get bullied a little bit. That's where I'll draw the line.
A good kidney punch. Like hard enough that it kind of knocks the wind out of him, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
My bad. I wish I could do a good George Lucas impression.
My bad, guys.
My bad, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I can't do it.
Well, I think people can distinguish me from you, Anthony, from the fact that I'm the one who publicly wished death upon George Lucas, and you're not.
I mean, I said he should have been clubbed in the temple with a nightstick, I think.
Yeah, you did.
That sounded.
You did.
It's not as bad.
I didn't go as far as to wish death upon him, but I did wish at least a
No.
traumatic brain injury. So
Yeah. You're
A
like
difference.
Batmaning him. That's a big difference.
yeah,
Permanent amnesia.
Amnesia, the PewDiePie beloved horror game, or I would give him amnesia.
You club him, you like give him permanent amnesia. You would forget all of his works.
I'd make him forget that the prequels happened and be like, "Oh, go on, George. You still own the property. Continue it. Continue your
He
dreams."
smiles for the
Oh,
first
great.
time in years.
I'm still loved in Hollywood, right, boys? Oh, they love you, George. They're huge fans.
I'm not blacklisted anymore, guys, right? No, George.
Do you think if you did club George Lucas and wipe his memory, if we gave him like a brain wipe, would he still make Jar Jar Binks? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like if we hit him really hard to the point where he never
how far are you resetting him?
depends on how hard we hit him. I'm thinking like hard enough that he forgets pre-1998. So like a year prior to that'd be the production of the Phantom Menace. So maybe 1996.
Yeah, he probably would.
He'd probably just do it again, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
Just
it's a temporary solution.
Well, hey, if he made the prequels now, like with technology now, maybe they would turn out a little bit better because they could have fulfilled his CGI vision.
Oh,
Well,
Well,
but
wasn't the
I don't
CGI
know.
not that bad for the time?
Oh, it's actually pretty good for the time.
some of it's
but
pretty good. Well,
like-
maybe the movie would be good with Disney's iron fist over the property.
That's true. And like, who knows? Who knows? Because like in the production of the Phantom Menace in that documentary, he's always like pushing the CGI artists like to their limit. He's like, well, none of this is technically possible now, but hopefully by the time the movie is released, it will be. So I bet if he did it now, he would just do the same thing where he'd like try and invent some new way of doing CGI, and so they'd have to invent a new way of doing it for him, and so they'd turn out just as bad, but like in a different way. That's my conclusion. That's
probably
maybe
true.
Maybe it'd be good though. Like
maybe it'd be good.
maybe
It
it would
could be.
push technology forward a bit if you wanted
Yeah.
to like do new CGI. Because I'm pretty sure that those movies had a pretty big role in like computer graphics for the time for like movies and stuff. So
Oh, they did.
Maybe I think the only solution is to go back and just do it. We got to club them.
Yeah. All right. So Hot Tub Time Machine special needs to come quick.
Oh yeah, we've got the hot tub time machine to do this with.
is that the actual plot of that movie?
No, he like goes back to have sex with his mom or something.
Oh,
That's not true, is it?
I'm fairly confident that is true. I think anytime you make a time travel movie, there's some sort of like, maternal incest stuff going on.
like what's it called? Back to the Future.
Like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. Hot Tub Time Machine 2 or 1.
Dude,
Is there a second? How many are there? 3?
2 at the moment. We're
I think
working
there's
on the
just
third.
2. Yeah, we're about to.
Yeah, the
release
third's in
third.
production right now.
I looked it up, and for some reason on my phone it came up in like size 20 font. Like I don't know why it's so large. It says 4 pals are stuck in a rut in adulthood. Adam has just been dumped. Lou is a hopeless party animal. Why is Craig Robinson's character just him? He's a hen. Okay, where's the part where he has sex with his mom? That's all I really care about. God, the Wikipedia synopsis
what
is
we're
way
discussing.
too long. Okay, I'm just gonna look up Hot Tub Time Machine mom sex.
Does he have sex with his
you'll-
mom in the other movie, the older one, the Back to the Future?
No,
Does he end
no.
up doing it?
No.
His mom's like
I don't
really
think
into
so.
him though.
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie. That's like my.
He like needs to make his dad like fall in love, doesn't he? Or else he
Alright.
like won't exist or whatever.
The YouTube clip I found just says nobody my mother in the past. And then everything else has been like a Pornhub recommendation. So inconclusive is the the final. That's our Determination.
That's
determining.
That's how it usually goes with Hot Tub Time Machine. It's usually just pretty inconclusive. That's how we leave it. And then we move on to the next subject.
And then we move on. I recently have been working on the next video essay to put up on the channel, and it is probably the worst video I think I've produced for the channel.
Yeah.
Why do you say
I
that?
get excited. So I started recording it after I'd moved into a new building or a new room in my kind of like dormitory apartment building complex area. And in the past, I had a roommate, so there's just a bunch of garbage laying around in the room. And now I live alone, and so there's not as much stuff. The dorms here, the rooms, like my apartment is made of just like concrete and cinder blocks. And so when I speak, it echoes horrendously. So the audio of this video has like a very noticeable echo. But I figured like if I work through it and I had music and all that, like I can get by and no one will notice. And then as I kind of went back and forth editing this video, I realized that I come across as like a very cynical asshole. And with any video that you make, you want to have an audience in mind, like a group that you can send it to who can appreciate it. And in the past, my videos have been like the Breath of the Wild video or I can't even think of the other stuff I've made at the moment.
You made a Stardew Valley, want to know?
Stardew Valley. I can send that to like the subreddits of that interest, and that group will come and they'll watch the video. This video is on mobile games, and I basically just accuse them of ruining the mobile gaming market and call them children. And I'm like, I can't put this out. I'm still gonna put it out, but like that video is gonna come out. But it's just me being like, you guys are children and you've ruined this market.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Get
I can't
excited
wait
for
to see
that.
that.
You're not wrong.
No, I don't think I am, but they probably disagree.
You could put that on Reddit. Redditors hate mobile gaming.
That is true.
Redditors hate a lot of stuff.
Gamers just hate mobile gaming.
Yeah, you got to make it clear that it's anti-mobile gamer and not pro-mobile gamer. Otherwise, you'll attract the same crowd, but just on your side or like very much against you, you know?
That's true. Yeah, I gotta find I gotta find another group who's equally as angry and bitter as I am, and then we'll be good.
Yeah. And I mean, it's tough to be just straight angry and bitter and cynical in a video about mobile games, but that's all you can be. Like we can be cynical and bitter on our podcast all we want. Like in a video, I'd imagine it's harder to like, make it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I find it pretty easy to be bitter. That's not too hard.
No, it's easy. Super easy, especially when you think about mobile games.
No, it's true, because mobile games were, not that I ever thought they were the future of gaming, especially when I was like a 13-year-old and I had no other identity other than gamer. That's all I had. I would hear people say, oh, mobile gaming is the future of gaming. I think like, no, it's not. Why would, on my phone, like, yeah, I love Bad Piggies as much as the next guy. Like, that's a fun game, but I don't think this is the future of gaming.
You don't think Angry Birds is the future?
No, Angry Birds Spaces, though. That was a fun one.
That one was good. That was probably the best one.
I always just viewed them as like time wasters, you know? Well, I guess
It's what-
video games
yes.
are time wasters, but like they were just like little mini games, you know? They weren't like too much depth to them. Kind of like when you're on like the bus or something, you're just bored. You just play like a mobile game for like 5 minutes or something, you're done.
Play something like Dark Souls, and this is an unfair comparison going in. So please know that the comparison of Angry Birds and Dark Souls is stacked from the beginning. But you play something like Dark Souls, and you can appreciate like the art and the craft and the world building and the design and I guess the story. If you want to spend like 20 hours on a Wikipedia page, go for it. There's a story to it. There's just a lot there to enjoy. And Angry Birds is something you play when you're waiting for your doctor's appointment. Like they seem very different to me. And at no point did I think like the evolution will be bringing this to the mobile market.
I thought mobile games might be the future when I was like 8, and I wanted to play Grand Theft Auto 4 really bad, but like I don't think I was allowed to. And I saw on my phone, like, or my iPod, that there was a mobile version of Grand Theft Auto. It was Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, and like for a brief moment, I thought, like, holy shit, this is the future. This is it. This is like the peak of video games. I can play Grand Theft Auto on my iPod. And so then I somehow convinced my parents to let me buy this one. I don't know. I must have been pretty sneaky about it, and I played it, and like I quickly realized that there's a very big difference between like video games and like mobile games, you know? And so like from that moment forward, I was like, yeah, it's like, I don't think this is the future of games. And they really do say that, or they used to. They used to say that a lot. I don't know if people still say that. I wouldn't say most people still say that, right?
I don't think so. But it was something I heard all the time in like 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
You heard it a lot. They'd say, oh, it's the future of gaming. And we probably got like 2 good games out of it. I think you got Going Nuts. That's a classic. And
it's a good one. I spent a lot of hours on the plane playing that one.
I have no idea what that is.
And Balloons. Well, I guess Balloons was it was like a flash game initially, but like still that kind of game is good on mobile.
Do you want to explain what Going Nuts is to Teddy, Patrick?
Yeah, you play as like a flying squirrel.
Yeah.
And it's like Subway Surfers kind of.
You collect nuts.
You keep going forward, but you always have to like dodge the oncoming traffic kind of thing, but you're like flying down like a jungle. I don't it was weird. It was weird.
Do you remember like Granny Apples? Did you guys play that mobile game?
No.
I thought
yes.
Yeah. I thought that one might be the future. It's explain
That's
it.
The one where
it's
you you use a cane to zip line and collect apples, right?
Yep.
Oh my god.
You're like an old woman. And I feel like you were maybe on a skateboard. I don't know if that's true, but it was like a 2D thing, and it wasn't really like a platformer. It was more like a momentum game, like a Sonic, but like less control. And that game was fucking rad. All I remember is that you were like a grandma and you had to collect apples, and like as the levels progressed, you like had to fucking dive into a active volcano, and like you were running through collapsing buildings, like people are screaming, like children are being crushed, but you're like booking it through the windows and ziplining with your cane, collecting apples.
Not
like,
saving
that's
the
sick.
children.
That's awesome. Bring back
I remember
games
that.
like that. Like, come on.
I think you introduced that to me.
Really? I bet I did, dude.
Yeah.
I was like the biggest fan of that game. I beat it like maybe 20 times or something like that. Like,
I think you did.
I love that game. Yeah.
That was the kind of game that I would play in the back of the classroom with my iPod Touch when I was supposed to be reading Narnia books for my Narnia class. That's okay. See, we haven't made a Marinaut viewing party video in a while for multiple reasons, but one of them being we don't have a lot of bad movies to watch. I think I found the magnum opus. So you know how there's like the Narnia movies by Disney? There's like 2 of them, and they're okay.
There's 3, but yeah.
There's 3, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3.
Got the Narnia lore expert over here. Before those came out, they made like direct-to-TV like interpretations of them, of all 8 of them. And I watched them in my Narnia Bible class, and oh my god, those are probably the worst movies I have ever watched. They were so horrifying. They couldn't get a real lion, so they've got this like terrifying puppet, and he flies at one point with children on his back. It looked horrible, and I really want to watch them.
No way.
They're very funny.
It's amazing. They did all 8? They did all 8?
I believe they did, yes. The last one I remember watching was The Silver Throne, and a snake lady showed up, and it made me laugh extremely hard, and I don't remember why.
She's a snake
I feel like
lady.
you showed me that scene before.
I probably have. I've showed you a lot.
Me that in like middle school.
I probably did. My middle school sense of humor was, I feel bad about the kind of stuff I laughed at in middle school. Not feel bad, feel like disappointed, cringy. I don't know.
I mean, you got to be easy on yourself because it's middle
But like,
school.
yeah,
We were all so
we were all cringe
gremlin-y and
lords.
goblin-y and gross, slimy,
That's true.
mucusy. It's tough to look back at those days.
Do you remember the age of the internet where just everything was extremely edgy, like 2015 to 2016?
Yeah.
One of my favorite pastimes during that time was to just look at like cringe compilations, because I still love them, honestly. They're very funny. But I remember a period during then where I was thinking about how like cringy old humor was, like Trollface and stuff. And I was thinking like, I wonder if this stuff that I think is funny now will ever be cringy. And looking back at it, I can 100% say, yeah, that is very cringy to look back at, the stuff that I thought was funny. Because that was the era of like John Cena, Harambe, like that hurts to think about now. Like that's very,
You mean the titans of meme culture?
yeah, the pillars that everything else is built upon.
Oh man, I put on a Harambe joke in my school video, bro.
Oh, I
Like,
remember the exact one you put in.
Yeah, I put him in.
Dude, I even remember like the whole Harambe situation. I remember like I actually thought they shouldn't have killed the gorilla just because of all the memes, you know. But like looking back on it, it's like, yeah, you obviously
What
killed
else
the
are they-
gorilla. There's
What
like a
else are
child
they gonna
there.
do? He's
How
like
could
the
they?
video. He's like dragging the child like through the water, like drowning him.
It's like a sack of flour. The kid's like not even fighting it. He's like, I shouldn't be laughing about this. It's like, it's like an infant being assaulted by a primate. But
I'm not laughing at that.
No, I'm
it
not
sounds
either.
like I am. Oh my god.
I'm just laughing at everything surrounding it.
It's just like it's such a release to like finally be able to say, "Oh my god!" Like, of course they got to shoot that gorilla. What else?
Yeah.
What other choice did they have? Like,
Negotiate.
yeah, they were gonna negotiate with him, or like,
Send like a banana down, like tie it on a string and like lower it in.
yeah, or like they throw a crate of bananas in and see if he just like loses interest.
There's been so many Harambe edits, and it's probably not a good idea to pitch one now. But did they ever make one where they edited in like the very calming, ambient Donkey Kong Country music to the footage of the child being dragged through the water?
They probably did, right?
They probably did, yeah.
Hopefully. It's a good
Yeah,
one.
because it's too late now. Don't make it now.
Maybe now is when you make it, when everybody thinks it's like too late. It comes back stronger than ever.
We had the Minecraft Renaissance, which I predicted. I knew it was coming. And then recently we had a very brief Trollface Renaissance of the Trollface just appearing like everywhere again, but like edited horribly, or relating to the cover yourself in oil, step 4 fly type format. I wonder if Harambe is going to have that semi-ironic comeback.
I bet.
Maybe.
I think there will be a point where Harambe will be funny again simply because it's not funny.
Right. I'm trying to think of an example. I'm trying to think of examples of that because that's definitely true. That's what happens on the internet. Is like things are funny and then time passes like now it's like a pretty quick amount of time. It's like maybe days, like a week before something becomes unfunny or like something becomes stale.
It's like immediate.
And then they like resurge years later as like a kind of laugh at it because it's not funny. It doesn't make any sense when I explain it, but that's kind of how it is.
I remember videos with the Scatman music put over it. I remember seeing that on early YouTube, and it was funny. And then maybe last year, Scatman came back as a meme. I can't remember which part of the song it was though. It was a very specific portion of the song that came back as the meme.
Give us a demonstration, please.
Oh, my best Scatman impression?
Yeah.
Of Scatman Crothers?
Yeah.
Okay. I can try. This is my attempt at the intro of the Scatman song, Scatman. He does like the Scatman. Then he says, I'm a Scatman. Don't laugh at that. That's
That
the
was pretty good,
Scatman
Anthony.
Crothers.
That's pretty good.
That felt so patronizing. Like when a child gets up on stage and like performs for the family in the living room. It's like, oh, that was really good, man. That was good work. Maybe that was just me. Did you guys do that as kids?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good, Anthony. Sorry, I was laughing. Yeah, all the time. I would. God, sorry. Just keep thinking about that. But I was like at my grandma's, and I'd gather, or I wouldn't. Like my cousins would gather me and like everybody else. I wasn't really. I was more into like being the director of it, but I didn't really want to be involved because I always felt embarrassed, even as like a kid, whenever like my family watched me do anything. So I always wanted to be behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
we always put on some weird production of like some sort of betrayal at like Christmas. I don't know why it was always some sort of betrayal, but like it was usually some sort of dramatic Shakespearean like thing that we just kind of made up on the spot and then reenacted for our parents, who had to just sit there and pretend to like it. And like, okay, as an adult, or like as a person who's able to drink legally now, I'd say like it's probably easier to like all to gather up and like watch your kids do dumb shit when you're like just wasted. I'm sure it's a lot easier. So maybe they weren't having as bad as a time as I think, but still, yeah, it felt, even at the time, I remember how patronizing it felt for them to just kind of like, that was great. Good job, guys. Way to
As a
way to
kid,
think
you
of
don't know
that.
any better. I know I was at a sleepover at my godmother's house, or maybe it's like my dad's cousin or someone I'm related to, but I don't see often. And I was sleeping over there, and they'd taken me to see Happy Feet. And after dinner, I had gotten up onto the fireplace. Like there's like a little piece of like a brick like layout that's sat a little raised above the rest of the ground. And I got up on there and I performed the scene. It's very briefly shown in the movie where the female penguin sings "Don't Push Me" because I'm close to the edge. And I performed that, and then I interpreted it. What I believed would have been funnier to have happened was if someone pushed her off the cliff and she fell. And then I enacted that myself in front of the whole family. And it was horrible. I hate thinking about that. It was
Probably
so
added
bad.
to the dramatic tension of the scene, wouldn't you say? The falling part. I think that was a creative addition. I think it was a creative addition. Yeah.
I think George Miller would have liked it. He should have added
it. I can't believe he made that movie.
Yeah, George Miller of Mad Max fame. He made Happy Feet.
Made that movie. What was the message of that movie? Like,
it's anti-religion, according to Adam of Your Movies Suck. I can't tell if that video is a joke or not. I think it's the message is that humans are terrifying. The part where he goes to the zoo and it's like real footage of humans horrified me as a kid.
Yeah, I think it was meant to scare you.
Yeah, the message is that humans are the real monsters.
Remember the part where they danced? Like, there's those three humans in like those bright orange, like jumpsuits, like the bright orange Arctic onesies, and the penguins all start tap dancing, and they like the three. I think it might be like the ending or like the finale. Like the humans show up in the Arctic or something.
That sounds really familiar.
And they all dance. All the penguins dance, and it's like they're all in unison, and there's like thousands of them. So you hear like, you know, like against the snow. It's like terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's like there's three orange onesies dudes, like three orange onesie wearing men, I should say. My bad. And they're watching, and they're like, they start dancing along to it, I'm pretty sure. I think that's how that scene goes. But anyways, yeah, good movie.
That would be terrifying. You're like on an expedition to find like these penguins, and they're just all synchronized dancing.
How would you react, like, to penguins dancing in front of you, like organized performance?
I don't know. I said I'd be scared.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't think I would find it scary. I don't know if I'd react in like fear. It would definitely be weird.
I would feel like I'm in a dream.
Yeah, it would feel
It's like a fever dream or something.
That feels like something I'd make up in my dreams. Do you remember the part where like a crane, like a submerged crane, falls and like it one of the penguins gets caught underneath it, and you see them like get dragged into the abyss?
What? Does he die?
That sounds very familiar. I remember like a crane falling into the ocean.
Maybe that was in Surf's Up. I don't know. There's a lot of penguin media out there.
There is. It's too much. Surf's Up is filmed like an
It's
animated
bad.
movie, but it's filmed like it's
It's bad, Anthony?
handheld camera. But yeah, it is
Yeah,
bad.
it is like The Office.
Well, is it a bad movie?
Yes!
Why is it bad?
Surfing penguins. You're trying to tell me a movie about surfing penguins was
And
good.
anything can work. Anything can cook.
That's just a
anything
quote
can-
from Ratatouille that you
Anyone can
slightly
cook.
altered. Okay, that's fair. Ratatouille is a good movie, and that's about a rat cooking. I don't
That's a
know.
good
I just
point.
remember not liking.
Are like all like these animated movies? They make no sense anyways. Like it doesn't matter if
Okay,
it makes
yeah,
sense
but-
or not. It just has
But
to be
can you
good.
tell me? But can you tell me that Surf's Up is on par with Ratatouille?
Well, I haven't seen it in a while, but I don't know. I don't remember like hating it.
I remember
Is it bad?
hating
Is
it.
it that bad?
No, but I don't know. I remember Chicken Joe was annoying. I remember they pee on somebody's foot, and I don't like surfing, so it wasn't like fantastic.
Yeah.
It's Shia LaBeouf is the penguin though. He's the main character. How can you not?
Was that
How
really
can you
Shia
not
LaBeouf?
love that? Yeah, it's Shia LaBeouf. I remember it like really distinctly because I think that movie came out around the time Transformers was like
Oh God.
not a legacy of pure hatred. It was only just like a tiny legacy of like bad movies. But yeah, he was. I used to be a big fan of him back in those
Shia
days
LaBeouf?
because I used to like Transformers back in those days. So I was like, I will watch whatever Shia LaBeouf is in. And so I think I watched Surf's Up, and I think I probably liked it when I saw it.
I
Can't
can't blame you for liking Transformers as a kid.
you can
No, it was okay, but like that
You're
came out
allowed
in
to.
2007. You're 7 or 8 years old, and it's a movie about cars that turn into robots. And you're 7 or 8, so you're not watching this movie, and your first thought isn't, that's kind of weird. Like the main girl's name is Michaela Baines, which sounds exactly like Michael Bay, the director, and she's like super sexualized. So you're not internalizing like what that means about Michael Bay and his psyche. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about,
Yeah, you don't
damn,
think about
that
that.
car's a man and a car. How cool is that?
That one's a jet and a man and a gun.
That one's a racial stereotype of people.
Which one was that?
It was two of them.
Most of them.
A lot of them.
A lot of them were
It
pretty
was two
bad.
of them, and
I
they
remember
were.
the two ones from Transformers 2. That pair of two robots were like
Yeah.
a horrible stereotype of like black people,
I think it was.
like gangster, like ghetto type of thing. Like it was just a horrible stereotype of that.
I don't remember
And-
their names. It was like Rocksteady and Bebop.
It's probably that, right?
Or those
Or
the.
like Anthony and Teddy. Something horrible like that.
Was it like were Rocksteady and Bebop the two, like the hippo and the crocodile from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? Do you know what I'm talking about? They're on on a cargo plane above the jungle in the second movie. Another movie with Megan Fox. We saw this in theaters. Patrick, you were there.
I know.
What movie?
The second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the live action.
I've never seen
Live
those.
action.
I wasn't there.
You were definitely there.
I was not there because I've never seen those.
They're really bad.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
They're really, really bad. I think I don't know. In my mind, if I go into a movie and I've paid to be there, I'm not getting up to leave because I paid to be there. I put money into this. I'm going to stay. And I think the only time I've even considered walking out of a movie was the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
You know why? You know why you thought about that? Because I just remember this. Because I think Blake was there. He's on the podcast. What is it? iWi-Fi. Go follow him at Twitch.
iWi-Fi.
But he was there, and I think he left. I think he got up and left the movie because he was like, I have to be somewhere anyways. Like, I don't like this. I'm just gonna leave. I think he actually did.
He's having a bad trip. Like, I can't be here. I gotta go. I gotta be in a different space right now. This is not good for me.
I gotta go right now, guys. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I remember him at least making a big deal about wanting to leave, or he did leave. It was one of the two.
It might have been Blake that I'm confusing Patrick with.
One of our other world famous podcasters, iWi-Fi, on Twitch.
I love referring to it as a world famous podcast. I've put it in like almost the last 4 descriptions. I think it's our Twitter description. I love calling it the world famous podcast. I don't know why. It's not a funny joke, but it is to me.
Really funny. It's really funny. I've walked out of a movie like 20 minutes before it ended, so I don't know if that counts, but it was 50
Kevin
Shades.
Spacey's 9 Lives? Oh! Similar film, similar in concept.
Yeah, I'd say similar concepts. No, I actually, one thing, I think a fun thing that people can like discern about my personality is that I did actually sit through 9 Lives starring Kevin Spacey for the entire runtime. I actually sat through that. but I did not sit through 50 Shades of Grey.
Now tell us why. Why is that?
Why would you watch that?
There's like genuine horror in that question.
Well, okay. I
isn't that literally like just
explain
porn?
Myself.
No, it's got a story.
Listen. If it was just porn, it would have been a better movie. Because I think a lot of pornos have better plots than this movie. Like, okay, so it was the second 50 Shades. So it was like 50 Shades Darker, I think it was called. So I hadn't seen the first one, and I think I was in high school, and like I went to go see it with 3 buds. 2 of them were dudes, 1 was a girl, and I think it was just like a joke that we were gonna go see it. And so, okay, let me explain the scene. So Mr. Gray, the cum shooter, the thick meat man himself, he like
that's a good name.
He's in a helicopter. He's in a helicopter and he crashes or something. And the main girl character is like, and then he shows up like 5 minutes later. Like she's watching it on the news. They're like, oh my God, Mr. Gray is down. Like, we don't think he's gonna live. And she's like, and then he walks in like the door like 2 seconds later. And so she's like, oh, like Mr. Gray is here. And like they've been fucking the whole movie. He thinks she's been cheating on him the whole movie. She thinks he's been cheating on her. She thought he was dead. So now it's like their climactic like fuck, like their big sex scene, right? And so I've been hating this. But anyways, so the music starts playing. It's like some bad song or whatever, and they're like, they're about to go at it or whatever. And as Mr. Gray is like about to do his thing and like, penetrate, the beat drops to his like pelvic thrust, and I like at the exact same time just stood up and walked out without saying a word to one another or without saying anything to anybody. We just stood up and walked out because it was so bad. There was nothing left for me. It had literally sucked my soul out. We left. It was bad, dude.
So that sounds awful.
Is that the only one you've ever walked out of, or was that only Anthony's?
For me.
Said he's only walked out of one.
I don't think I've ever walked out of a movie.
You're a movie watcher, huh?
Yeah, I sit down. I saw Paul Blart's Mall Cop 2 in theaters opening day. That's not a joke. Wow. That 100% is true. I saw it opening day.
You have the receipt? You have that ticket still?
I probably do. I collect movie tickets of movies I've been to, and I put them in my wallet. I don't know why. I probably do have the ticket for that. My cousins made me go to it. It was not funny. I didn't enjoy it. No. I will admit that.
But Paul Blart funny.
Paul Blart, he fat and fall.
It's very funny.
It's
Let's be
very
honest.
funny. But it's not like I have
The
like
only scene I remember for the first one is when like some guy shoots like a tank at this guy's balls.
a tank. Oh, of air?
Yeah, he has like
I thought you meant like the army vehicle.
No, there's like a it's like the villains in the mall, right? In the first one? I don't know what they're
Yeah, he
called.
launches like a compressed CO2 canister
Exactly.
at him.
See, you know the scene. You know it.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah, like hits him in the nuts.
Yeah, that's all I remember for that movie.
Doesn't
Wait,
he
I think I've
fall?
seen is the second one where he has like his daughter with him?
I think so.
I've
And
seen that
it's
one.
Rainy Rodriguez.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
It was
There's
not
like a
good.
peacock. It's so bad.
I think I saw it on like the Disney Channel or something. It was like being live streamed.
Live stream. You mean I guess live stream works, yeah. Isn't there a scene where he falls through the roof of a rainforest cafe?
And he shatters his spine.
Yeah, he dies.
And the
It's
movie
really
ends?
sad.
Dies.
It's like at the 30-minute mark, and the rest of the movie is him just laying there as the camera does like a slow Ken Burns zoom on his corpse. It's really weird.
It's awesome. It's probably the best part of the movie. Rainy Rodriguez like just discovers her dad's body and just wails, throws her arms into the air, and it zooms in on her face, and then the movie
And
ends.
they have to wait in real time for the ambulance to arrive.
The rest of the movie is like real time, like it's waiting for like the police to show up and the ambulance to show up. It's like a 30-minute wait, and then it takes like 10 minutes for his body to be discovered. That'd be really funny. That'd be a nice
Another
like
30
experimental
minutes
film.
just to move him into the ambulance.
Experimental film? Who would watch that?
I might watch that.
We would.
Yeah.
Is there music or is it just silent?
There's no music. It's all like it's hyper realistic audio design though. Like the sound is super high, like the Foley quality. It sounds super realistic. There's no like funny sound effects for anyone falling or anything. It's all just like incredibly serious. Yeah. And he picks them up and the camera like trails with the body. So it's like connected to it's like if there was a stick that came off the body of Kevin James and the camera was mounted on that. So like follows him around, tracking his corpse.
I love that.
The final shot is him being lowered into the grave.
Damn.
That'd be like a 2-day movie. How long does an autopsy take?
I don't think they're that quick, right?
I doubt it. They gotta be forever. That has to be a long process. Cause you
A range of 10 to 20 hours. That's my range of like how long it could take.
That's your theory.
between the plane crash
That's
and
my
when
theory.
he woke up, how long was Tom Cruise in that body bag in The Mummy?
Like days, right?
Probably. Do you think they accidentally put formaldehyde in him?
They is he filled with formaldehyde?
Real life Tom Cruise, he did that stunt for real. They really put formaldehyde in him. That's why he
Maybe
looks so
that's why
good.
Yeah, that's why he looks like literally the same. Like he doesn't. Dude,
That's
I had a
his
theory about
secret.
that, about one of my old high school teachers. Because I looked at a picture of him from like the 80s or like maybe the late 70s, and he looked the same. Like he didn't look younger. He looked as old as he did when like I knew him. So like I kind of developed a theory with my brother that he maybe just slipped a little formaldehyde into his coffee every morning and just like drank a little bit, and it's just kept his form pure through the years, just like Tom Cruise. That and like the blood of innocence or whatever they do in Scientology.
Probably, yeah, the blood of innocence.
It's gotta be, right? I don't know what else they do.
What do you think formaldehyde tastes like?
Lotion?
Not good.
Do you remember when it'd be like, I almost said surgery day. It's not surgery day. That was not a school-wide event. What do you call that?
Surgery.
Everyone comes in and they perform surgery on one student of choice. It's like homecoming king. They vote for who it's gonna be.
Who gets dissected in the gym floor in front of the whole school?
Yeah. Dissection day. Yeah.
Oh, that's the word you were looking for.
It's like a pep rally. Everyone's in like the auditorium. Everyone's in like the gym on the bleachers. There's the one student laying in the middle of the half court line, and everyone's like, "Yes, cut him open!" No, on dissection day or whatever that was in high school, when they'd bring out the sharks, it would smell so bad.
Disgusting.
Because I went to a small school. You could smell it across the entire school.
Yeah. No, I get that.
It was horrible.
It stank up the entire day. You knew it was dissection day for the science kids when the whole school smells like fucking fish. Yeah, it's surgery day. And then they're like, cut open the eyeball. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
God, don't make me do it. Love surgery day.
They don't tell the student who it is.
I don't.
Yeah.
Did we do any just dissections in middle school or no?
I know I did one of a pig because I remember cracking its skull open with a hammer, which was optional.
Oh.
I wanted to do it, and then I did it. I was like, "Can I please do it?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, go for it." And I hit the skull. I like peeled back the scalp, and I hit the skull with a hammer. And I heard the noise, and immediately I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm done. I can't do this." I thought I wanted to, but I don't.
God, what? Was there one pig that the class was dissecting?
Oh no, there were multiple pigs, but originally she was like, "You don't want to do the brain. Like, we're not going to do that part. You guys can't handle that." And I was like, when she said you can't handle that, my inner alpha male was like, "Oh no, I can handle it." And I couldn't.
Bash the brains into this fucking pig.
Yeah, I will break open this pig's skull. And I couldn't. I felt too bad because it was a piglet. They were small pigs. I should have said that. Yeah, they were piglets. It's not like every student had a full-size hog on the table.
Well, that's what I was imagining, was like just a giant hog that the whole class was like dissecting together. Like,
yeah, we had to wrangle our own.
So
wild
you like
horde,
murdered? You like? Well, they are dead, but
yeah,
like cracked the skull of a baby pig.
Yeah, pretty much. It was dead. Yeah, but I did. But I couldn't go any further than that. I felt too bad.
That's good. At least. Listen, I don't have a lot to say about that.
The conversation doesn't have a lot of places to go from there. It can go like, "That's kind of psychotic, Anthony. That's really weird that you would do that," and nowhere else. So the only option from there is to change subjects entirely.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I think now's a good opportunity to partake in a brand new segment we've come up with. Right after I drink some water.
Ooh.
Will I edit out me drinking water? Probably not. That's more work.
More work. That's a no.
All right. So this is a new segment called Unverified History, and it's where we retell some of our favorite historical events from an entirely biased and unverified perspective. Because I'm not going to be reading from the Wikipedia or from any reliable source. This is all what I remember, and I'm probably making up half of it. So enjoy. I mean, if that takes away from the enjoyment of it, because chances are it's wrong, which honestly would take away from the enjoyment of it, too bad. I don't care. This is for me.
Fuck you. Fuck you, man.
I don't make videos for you. These are for me. So, this is the story of the Children's Crusade. You guys are familiar with the Crusades, I imagine, right? That thing where Christians tried to steal the Middle East for themselves.
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Yeah, and it was mostly adults, right? Because you're battling a war.
Yeah.
But there was an instance where it was actually children who decided that it was their time to get out there and reclaim the Holy Land for themselves. There was a kid named Nicholas, our own little Saint Nicholas. I don't know if he's considered a saint in the Catholic Church, but I, not having that power, declare him a saint, a Marinaut saint. He decided, he had a dream, I believe, where Jesus came to him and said, "If you march down to the Mediterranean Sea, I will split the sea, just like I did for that Moses guy. I will split the sea. I don't know, have you seen Prince of Egypt? It's going to be just like that. Split the sea and you march across, and then all the Muslims will bow down and recognize your power." And Nicholas was like, all right, I mean, that's very compelling. That's a compelling argument. So he decided to get out there and start telling his fellow Germans this fantastic plan of his. And he amassed a pretty large group, almost exclusively of children. Just a bunch of children who are like, this is a great... Because, okay, you're like 10 years old in like the 12th century, and some dude comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'm going to split the sea for Jesus." And like in the 12th century, I think long division would have been considered like witchcraft. So this is a very appealing concept. You don't see any faults in this.
There's no downside to that plan.
No, there's none. Because this kid's probably 12 and you're 10. And the fact that he's 2 years older than you means he's an adult. This is a genius idea because the adult's telling you it's going to happen. And so they immediately started marching over the Alps, the Swiss Alps, and trying to head down to Italy towards the Mediterranean Sea. And this isn't modern times where they've got their down jackets or whatever. These are like peasants wearing cloth trying to march through the frigid, cold mountains.
Yeah.
7,000 children arrived at the base of the mountains. 2/3 of them had died on the journey. 2/3 of them, which means this group started with there were like 30,000 of them. Like there were like 28,000 of these kids who were just like, yes, this is a good idea. We're gonna go to the Middle East and end the conflict. There were 30,000 children like just ready to go kill indiscriminately. They were just willing.
How did they get like the legislation? Like how is the organization of this? Did so many kids?
It's like a Christian camp. They just one kid said we're doing it and everyone circled up around him and they started marching. And then got to the top of the mountain, thought they were going to sleep for the night, never woke up. 7,000 of them make it to the bottom and they're like, Nicholas, this is pretty bad. Like this is not going well. And he's like, hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got this. And they get to the Mediterranean Sea and it does not part. Nothing happens. And they're pissed at Nicholas. And then they split up into factions. The first group run into this like captain guy and he says, hey, so you guys are trying to get to the Middle East, huh? Like I can help you out. And they're kids. They're like 10. So they're like, oh, yeah? You're going to take us free passage to the Middle East? All right. And they get on this dude's ship. And according to Wikipedia, they were taken to Tunisia and sold into child slavery. They crossed the mountains, watched like 2/3 of their friends freeze to death, got on a boat, and then were sold into slavery. The other group, Nicholas, tried going to the Middle East. And then he got bored and he went and he met with the Pope. And the Pope said, good work. The Pope talked him out of it. He's like, don't go to the Middle East. It's not going to go well for you. It's a bad idea. You're like 10. And so he decided to go home and he froze to death on the way home in the mountains. Nicholas didn't survive, but he did get to meet the Pope. And that's that was a big deal for a medieval man.
Yeah, and then he sent him to his death.
And then he died trying to get back home, yeah. That was rough. I don't know what he was thinking.
I may not know a lot. I know a lot about God because I'm the Pope. But one thing I do know is that you should go back through the mountains that you almost died coming through.
Yeah, go back. There was no you weren't going to supervise him. The Pope was just like, yeah, go back you made it once, you can do it again. Like, no, send an envoy with them. Give him a parental guardian. Send one dude with him at least. But no, they're just like, yeah, you can walk back home. You're good. And the other group were so impressed. Like, they showed up. Say you're living in Italy, and you just see this army of starving children. 7,000 of them show up. They were so impressed that this group of children actually managed to make it this far. They just said, you can live here if you want. We'll give you a home. And those kids stayed in Italy.
Well, that's a happy ending, I think.
Yeah. Oh, also, this happened twice. There's 2 different occasions where this occurred. There's a German incident and there's a French incident. I don't really remember what happened in the French incident. But it probably ended with them getting sold into Tunisian slavery, too.
Well, did they have to cross the Alps into Italy as well, or did they try a less insane thing?
Probably did what all 12-year-olds do and just started walking. It was like, hey, you know what? We'll make it. Jesus will guide us. We're good.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
very
informative,
tragic.
Anthony. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know how true any of that is, because I read it on Wikipedia and then forgot about it.
When did you read it? Like a week ago?
No, someone informed me at lunch, and I almost choked on my food.
So this really is unverified,
Oh, this is 100. Yeah, this is very unverified.
Okay, I love this. All right, that's perfect.
Yeah, so if it hurts your feelings, maybe 21,000 children didn't die. Or maybe they did. Who knows?
Think about it that way. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it didn't happen. Maybe Anthony made this all up because he's a world famous podcaster and he can do that.
A world famous podcaster would never lie to his audience. Just like the time I didn't lie about General George A. Custer and his military prowess. I don't even remember what I said about him, but I do know.
I don't even know what he did.
Custer's last stand?
Yeah. I don't remember what I said about him, but I know that I was wrong and I had to apologize. No, actually, I don't think I did apologize, and I won't.
Maybe that can be our next segment.
General George A. Custer.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
I'll learn maybe I'll ask my coworker about it, and that's how I'll get my information for Unverified History. I'll just see what my coworker has to say about Custer. Just take his word of mouth as fact.
Is your coworker like a Custer stan? Why would your coworker know about George Custer?
Well, no, I just asked
him.
Is he a
can we stan historical figures?
Custer stan?
Let's do that.
What does that even mean?
Historical figures.
Do you guys know?
It's an Eminem thing.
Yes.
I think it's like
it's a reference to the song Stan. I think like a overly creepy fan.
Great. Thanks, Eminem.
Thank you. Eminem's done a lot for the society.
Is that like the pop group or whatever?
No, it's a candy.
Oh, so the M&Ms, they made a commercial where they said Stan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They did.
That's
they did a Super Bowl commercial?
They did a Super Bowl commercial. And it was about how they're being stalked by humans who want to eat the M&Ms, and then it shows them like devouring an M&M, like removing its candy coating. Like they're skinning it. It was horrifying.
Yeah.
Really scary.
Limbs.
I know there's an M&M commercial where they literally eat each other.
Is that
like there's cannibals?
Not. No, that's not real. Oh, it is.
The M&Ms are little. They're like ripping a guy open or something.
The guy with the caramel in it, they rip him apart.
Yeah, they like. Maybe it's not a commercial. Maybe it's just like on the wrapper. But like,
no, that's the truth. That is actually
they're killing him.
It's real.
They're killing a fellow species member.
Species member. What's the scientific name of the M&Ms?
No, they're not real.
Chocolatous. How scary would it be to see a real, like if you were in your room at night and you turned off the lights to go to sleep and you opened your eyes and in the corner there was like this small spherical creature with human gangly limbs standing in the corner, and one of them had the voice
giant
of
eyeballs.
So it's like the Lima Bean episode.
Yeah, it's pretty much that terrified me. That was not funny. Creators of Jimmy Neutron. Why did it have human teeth? You can't put human teeth on random objects. They should give the M&Ms human teeth.
Why not? I mean, that's what I've been saying for years. I've been saying that I think since I could talk. I've been saying give the M&Ms human teeth.
Give them teeth and show me them eating each other.
Give them pearly
M&Ms.
whites.
Give them pearly whites. That'd be kind of scary. Who's like the scariest cereal mascot?
I've never liked Tony the Tiger.
I was gonna say Tony the Tiger. He's kind of creepy, but also he's a furry. He just kind of harmless.
Yeah, but he just like pops up out of nowhere, and he has that weird voice where he's like, "They're great." Like,
they're great. Yeah.
Why does he come out of nowhere, and why is he telling me that? If they're really great, let me taste them. Hand me the ball.
But in all his commercials, he's just teaching people how to play sports. That's pretty harmless.
Is he really? Oh yeah, I guess he is. He usually has like a soccer ball, and he's usually like, "Hey kids," and he like kicks it.
Yeah, Frosted Flakes is kind of the cereal of champions. That's for athletes.
Champions Club.
Yeah.
Is that why we weren't good at sports in middle school? Is that because we
didn't eat Frosted Flakes?
That's why Tony the Tiger never showed up.
I was eating Trix, I think.
Trix are for kids.
Well, I was a child. That was when I was young. Do you remember Yogos?
Yeah, I do. Weren't those like the yogurt like things? Little like yogurt guys?
Little orbs.
I say yogurt like spheres. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like little spheres. They were so good. And they're gone. I also like grits or whatever those were.
I remember grits, the Cheeto kind of guys. They're like hexagons.
Yeah, they're like little Cheez-Its with like shaped like hexagons, and they were really good. we bring those back, please? Life hasn't been the same since those got discontinued. Well, that sounds like we run out of topics.
That's a good way to end. Like,
we're professional. We're really professional, you guys. I promise.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening this far, even though I know none of you did. According to our analytics. Please like and subscribe. I'm begging you. Please.
Hit the bell icon.
Hit the bell icon. I don't know what that does. I think it just like lets you
Leave
know
a
the next time we
comment.
upload. Comment multiple times. Yeah, comment. Did the Children's Crusade make you laugh or make you cry? Let us know.
Let us know in the comments.
Would you have participated? Let us know. Did you think that Transformers was racist? Let us know. Bye.